This is how influencer businesses actually don't work.
They are usually a terrible investment for everyone, including the influencer.
Oh, can't wait for the hot takes in this video.
Ryan Reynolds is best known for his on-screen performances, but behind the scenes, he is a ruthless venture capitalist with 2 9-figure exits under his belt before the age of 50.
Yeah, what did Mint Mobile just sell for? Mint Mobile sales price? Ryan Reynolds' Mint Mobile was bought by T-Mobile for $1.35 billion. The people who bought in probably are pretty happy about that exit. Let's see why it's a bad thing, I guess.
In 2018, Reynolds acquired an unspecified minority stake in Aviation Gin from Davos Brands.
Or hold on, let's check out Aviation Gin. Okay, he sold it for $845 million. Investors in that also probably pretty happy with that exit.
A New York-based distributor that had purchased the brand in 2016 from House Spirits Distillery in Portland.
Does drinking Aviation Gin make you feel like a superhero? I wouldn't know.
Reynolds used his star power to promote the gin and drive sales from 15,000 cases a year to 96,000 cases a year, according to the financial services firm Jefferies.
Seems like good business to me.
Had children, and that's when I realized that I love gin.
I thought he was gonna say, that's when I realized I love money.
The market for alcohol in America has also stagnated, with younger consumers choosing to drink less or not at all as a healthy lifestyle choice or a way to save money. A 540% increase in sales over just 3 years is a clear sign of how effective a dedicated influencer-led marketing campaign can be.
It's like the #1 way to sell things in the modern world. Alcohol has no differentiating factor between brands. It's literally the same thing, sold at different price points, marketed in different ways. So if you have a face that you know, like, and trust on the brand, or attached to the brand rather, of course it's gonna drive sales.
Brands like Johnnie Walker, Smirnoff, Bailey's, Captain Morgan, and their own gin brand Tanqueray recognize the potential and purchased Aviation Gin outright in 2020 for $610 million.
Okay, $610 million, an amazing exit.
Reynolds followed up his success by purchasing a reported 25% stake in the telecom startup Mint Mobile in 2019. He repeated the process of promoting the company to his audience to increase the customer base, and then sold the company to another legacy industry giant, T-Mobile, for over $1.25 billion, which with Reynolds' stake should net him over $300 million before taxes.
That's just good business, baby.
Reynolds was able to leverage his fame to make north of $500 million on top of the money he made from his day job as an actor.
He probably made more on those 2 sales than he made his entire acting career. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. He makes $24 million from Deadpool alone every year. All right. He probably has some good deals, but still, it's like another complete career that he's established with his businesses.
George Clooney had his own tequila company that he had also sold to Diageo for $1 billion. Dr. Dre had Beats by Dre, and Jay-Z had Tidal that he sold to Block for $302 million.
I can't believe anyone bought Tidal. That one's a bad one.
Social media influencers can't monetize their audience's attention as effectively as traditional celebrities that make music, movies, and TV shows, because there's usually no direct cost to access their content.
I disagree with that. It's just the cost of time. It's the attention economy. Movies are effectively free now too. Traditional entertainment is effectively free with subscription services. It's like there's just marginal cost of time for consuming. It doesn't make any sense to say that influencers are not differentiated, or differentiated in that you don't have to pay for their content. That makes it better. That means you get more advertisement, if anything. If the content is free, more people see it.
One of your favorite celebrities showing off the good life with a cool outfit, a new beauty product, or a beautiful vacation spot, there's a chance the star has a good reason to tell you about it. Money.
When was this clip from? This is like from 1999. This video is from 1 month ago, and that they just chose the oldest daytime TV clip they could find.
Pays to watch or listen to content is always going to be more valuable than someone who watches for free. YouTubers can run ads through Google AdSense and have dedicated video sponsors. A creator would need 5,000 people to view their video to generate as much revenue as just one movie ticket sale. A TikToker would need more than 1 million views at that rate to make the same revenue as one movie ticket.
Yes, but
I understand that this isn't a one-to-one comparison.
Okay.
Movies are feature length, not 60 seconds or less, and movies have large production and marketing budgets.
Yeah, they cost infinitely more to make. The profit margins of a small influencer that is moderately successful are so much better than a studio, though. They have to be.
The model is simple. An influencer will promote their product, which gives them a competitive edge over other businesses that need to pay for traditional marketing campaigns that typically have large marketing spends like liquor, fashion, cosmetics, and fast-moving consumer goods. Gatorade spent $59 million on marketing in America in 2021.
Influencers get into these things because brands really have little differentiation between products on the product level. Gatorade and Powerade, effectively the same thing. It's just how it's marketed. Sure, you prefer one over the other, but really when it comes down to it, it's just a label on a sugary drink. And so like if you have an influencer face attached to it, it's just the differentiation is enough to drive sales. Whereas other more considered products like a car or like a phone or something, for example, they actually have differentiation on the product level.
If Logan Paul and KSI can get similar market recognition without spending that kind of money on traditional advertising, they will have a business that is far more profitable and valuable. Business-to-business products and products that don't rely on large advertising spends gain much less from being run by an influencer because their business edge is the free advertising they offer. If you study this space for long enough, you will realize that there is not much variety in influencer businesses, and that's just the first problem out of 4.
Is that a problem? I mean, sure, it'll get saturated at some point, but there are enough of these industries for now that it hasn't really mattered.
So it's time to learn how money works to find out why influencer businesses are terrible investments even when they are worth billions of dollars. The first problem with influencer businesses is that they are only as good as the influencer themselves. Companies built around an affiliation with one individual have a single point of failure, which makes them a risky investment. If the influencer steps back from the business, the brand loses its free advertising and its competitive edge.
That just seems like the business is bad for not building out other forms of marketing or identity.
When Reynolds sold his share in aviation gin to Diageo, part of the deal was a 10-year earnout for him to remain on as a media spokesperson and maintain the performance of the brand. Diageo's M&A team knew if they lost Reynolds, the brand would become just another premium gin in a highly competitive shrinking market. It can be even worse if the individual decides to go full Kanye and publicly destroy their reputation.
I mean, yes.
If a brand is aligned with
Kanye also tanked his own personal finances by going crazy. So it's like the incentives are aligned and you always run that risk in the world that someone's just going to go crazy and tank it.
Adidas was left with $1.3 billion worth of unsold Yeezys after their split with West. But let's say it doesn't get Kanye level bad. Even the influencer businesses have a shorter than average life cycle. Just the success of an influencer's business can make their fans unhappy, because nobody likes being advertised to, and the cultural stigma of selling out can turn their fans against them.
The people who get mad at influencers for selling out aren't buying the product anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
This is more common with certain types of celebrities, particularly music genres that pride themselves on their counterculture image.
I guess it depends on the person.
After his part in selling Mint to T-Mobile, fans liked the low-cost product, but they also liked the alternative to traditional cell carriers, which are some of the most hated companies in America, alongside the Weinstein Company, EA, and Monsanto. Fans were sold on this alternative by someone they trusted. And Reynolds used that trust to make $300 million by selling it to the bad guys.
Well, you know, T-Mobile's been making some strides recently, I guess. They're the most progressive of the big carriers, but that's a valid point.
I'm gonna fill whatever hole I have inside my soul, which possesses me to emphasize external success over quieting an inner child, futilely craving some sort of illusory acknowledgement from my now deceased father.
He's a funny guy.
The company can also suffer. A large telecom company buying a small telecom company happens all the time.
I don't think maybe the diehard Ryan Reynolds fans are mad, but I don't know if anyone's really a diehard Ryan Reynolds fan, and I don't think it really hurt his fame to sell this.
And usually their customers never even know it happens. But Reynolds' involvement made it big news, and people are leaving Mint just to make a point. Reynolds was only a minority shareholder in both of these companies, so he may not have been able to stop their acquisitions even if he wanted to, and that's problem number 2 with influencer-owned businesses. The influencers don't own them. Logan Paul and KSI's Prime Energy is majority owned by a distribution company called Congo Brands.
Who owns Coca-Cola? Like what?
The professional internet idiots each own 20% of the business, and the other 60% is controlled by the distributor.
20% each is a ludicrous amount. Founders of startups don't even control that much in their own companies after they go through venture capital and everything. This is a non-issue.
Bringing a food and beverage product to market is a very difficult process. The brand needs to get FDA approval, find a producer, and work with distributors in dozens of countries. I am sure that Mr. Paul and KSI are very smart men deeply down. As businessmen, their time would be better and more profitably spent screaming into a microphone, getting punched in the face, and selling NFTs to their impressionable young audience.
Well, yeah, the NFTs, but I don't think any of those other things are making them as much money as Prime is going to make them.
Using a company with experience to make an upfront investment and handle the operations was a good deal for the duo. Most other influencer businesses use experienced distributors to handle their products.
Yeah.
I will use myself as an example for some self-serving promotion. I recently launched my own merch shop to give people a fun way to support the channel. Instead of finding my own suppliers and setting up a warehouse, I just signed a distribution contract with Spring.
Okay, so he has his own influencer business, and he's saying that they don't work.
I knew this was a risk. If the supplier dropped their quality standards, people wouldn't blame them. They would blame me. If the influencers don't own the company selling what is supposed to be their products, they can lose control of their brand's direction and end up contractually bound to a product they no longer support or being forced to provide positive PR for decisions they were against.
I mean, you own 20%. You have a lot of sway at the company if that is the case. Plus, you choose your partners at the beginning. Nobody has full control over any company.
In November of 2010, the Kardashian sisters announced that they would be launching a prepaid debit card called the Kardashian Card.
That's a hilarious business. How? That's so predatory. This is a bad one.
The card was a horrible financial product.
Celebrity credit card, definitely not a scam.
Fee of $7.95, cost $6 to close.
If you don't use the money that's in there, they actually deduct it or they charge you.
The sisters were not the ones that created the card offering and the fee structure. They outsourced that to University National Bank, but they were the ones dealing with the bad press.
But they signed off on it, and that's their bad.
The third problem with influencer businesses is that there are too many of them. New social media platforms are giving attention to a lot of people that can't easily monetize their newfound fame. Since influencer-driven brands only work with a handful of product categories in a small number of markets, influencers are starting to compete with other influencers. It would be difficult to find a beauty influencer with more than 1 million followers that doesn't have their own cosmetics line, or a finance influencer without some course on how to flip houses or day trade Forex.
That's just how it goes. That's just business. These are crowded spaces.
If more influencers enter these markets, they risk saturating their customers for choice and pushing them back to brand name products. Some customers will even seek out products that are not aligned with any celebrity or influencer because they want to avoid celebrity culture and because they think celebrity-backed products are inferior to traditional branded products.
Yeah, those people, nerds.
Problem number 4 is that influencer products are usually worse than other market competitors. Most businesses fail, and most products brought to market are not as good as existing products that have remained popular for a reason.
Not exclusive to influencer businesses. These problems are all just problems of any business. That's so interesting.
Therefore, the chances of a good product that would beat existing products being founded by a celebrity are very slim.
I mean, it's the chances of any product being founded by anyone that would beat an existing product are slim. That's the same thing.
An influencer product won't just simply fail. Influencer products at higher price points can be kept alive by good marketing. Beats by Dre used to be the market leader in premium headphones and portable speakers. The recognizable design was popular with music enthusiasts that wanted a good headset but weren't sure how to find one. What sounds good is subjective, so a product developed by one of the biggest music producers in the world was an attractive option. Beats headphones were on average 50% more expensive than similar offerings from Bose, Sennheiser, and Sony. The products also suffered from poor build quality and bad balancing profiles that emphasize bass, which the average Beats buyer mistakes for a premium sound. Beats still outsold the existing brands 10-1 in 2006 and 2014.
I mean, sounds like a good business to me. Bad product, good business.
The heavy-handed marketing of Beats products has backfired today because most image-conscious music employers don't want to be seen wearing them because the fact that they are an inferior product sold to impressionable people with too much money is well known. Bose and Sennheiser have become popular with the same customers who have abandoned their bright red Beats because these brands are now seen as the choice of enthusiasts that know more about music and sound quality than you do.
Also, Beats changed the game and made headphones not look dorky. The design caught up from these other companies because Beats put pressure on them to innovate and look less stupid. That was the biggest differentiator for Beats, was how they looked. And other headphone brands at the time were not doing anything like that. They changed the market. It was influential, and now headphones are less stupid looking.
Apple probably doesn't mind since its self-branded headphones now dominate the market of people who just want something to listen to. The fifth reason that influencer brands are bad for everybody is because business leaders should be boring. To find out why, go and watch my video on how good CEOs should.
That video was dumb. Subscribe.